Hello, world. What is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte, and we are here live at the Build Studio in New York City. You know, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, a day where, unlike Black Friday, your money can not only secure the perfect, unique holiday gift, but also go a long way to helping support children and families all over the globe, thanks to World Vision and 31 Gifts. Now, our next guest has been working with them at least since 2015. You may also recognize her as one, if not two, of your all-time favorite TV moms. She's recently released a cookbook called Food for Family and Friends, and this year she's designed a unique accessory collection for World Vision's holiday gift catalog. There is so much to talk about. I'm so excited she's back on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Patricia Heaton is in the building. How about that, huh? How we feel about Patricia? Excited? I'm excited. She'll be out here in just a second, but first, I believe we have a video from one of Patricia's first trips with World Vision, so let's go ahead and run that clip.
Gracious! Hi! Hi, honey! How are you? See, 3. See, they labeled all the bags.
You're even saying I've seen their brief.
Atu atambulin. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
The song says,
Hey, guys. Okay. Oh, look at the little one. All right, guys. One at a time. There you go. They're beautiful. Oh, buddy, what you doing? Yeah, they're saying don't come near my food.
And then the next one is going to be the female ward. Right? Yeah. And then the other one is going to be...
Pretty good.
Continue steering.
Yes.
Even in the sides, on the side, yes. On the middle, just like that. Yeah. So you have to continue doing this until you see that everything is together.
Phone now. We also have some guiding questions here. So I assume I've already registered her now.
Yes.
Just a pregnancy visit.
Yeah. Well, I have.
Okay.
So actually they start from the yellow, they will refer the child to the nutrition support group. Okay, so if it's in yellow, we
Caution.
it's caution.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
Open. Come, Jabura. Come, 1, 2, 3, up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Patricia Heaton right here. Come on, make some noise for Patricia.
For coming.
Wow. First of all, congratulations on this accessory set and the book earlier this year. I'm so excited you're back on the show. Thank you so much for being
Thanks
here.
for having me.
It's so great to have you. I want to get into that video in just a second because there's a lot I want to ask you about there and that whole experience. But just first and foremost, how are you? How was Thanksgiving? How's Patricia doing?
I'm doing good. I have 2 sons in Nashville, so that's where we all had Thanksgiving. 2 more sons and a niece, and a bunch of people came to Nashville. Then we drove to Columbus for the Ohio State-Michigan game. Go Bucks! They won. And then just got in here yesterday.
That's gotta be, so you weren't technically hosting. You went down.
I actually, no, I cooked the turkey.
You cooked the whole thing?
Yeah, it was a lot of musicians and me.
You put out a cookbook.
No, actually, a bunch of us cooked a bunch of stuff. But I did cook the turkey, yeah.
Do you have a signature dish side everyone was looking for?
I do these popovers that I used to do in England a lot that my mother-in-law taught me, and I didn't have enough ovens. We had too many things going on. Yeah, not enough ovens, so I couldn't do it this year, but that's what I normally do.
That's what you normally do.
Yeah.
Is that a recipe that's in the book, or is it like a secret family recipe?
It's a secret family recipe that you can find online at williamsonoma.com.
Where all good secrets are kept.
Yes, right.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I saw a really sweet tweet that you had put out that you were thankful for all of your families on screen and off, and you had all three, the middle and Raymond, and of course your off TV family. What is that like, having three very real? Because those shows, each of them 9 seasons, over 200 episodes. Those are real families too in their own way.
That's
like
right.
having 3 families.
Well, what
in
was
your life?
interesting too, when I did Everybody Loves Raymond, my children were about the age of the kids on the show. So that show really mirrored what was going on in my life at the time, as did the middle, because when I did the middle, my boys were all pre-teens and teens as they were on that show. So I really had to do no research. All I had to do was wake up in the morning, go to work, and look at the script, and it was my life, basically. Yes, yes.
Did you ever, did your TV family ever teach you anything about your off-TV family, or vice versa?
I think that the overall message in all of those shows, in both of those shows and in my family, is, that I think Frankie Heck would always say this: you do for family. It's about your family. As long as you have your family, you can weather any storm. And I think that's basically the lesson from those shows that I've grown to appreciate in my life. And now, especially since all the boys are out of the house, I'm an empty nester, and it's kind of wonderful to see them all together over the holidays. And then I have to go through that thing where I miss them all over again. Like, I'd gotten used to them being away, and then when I get them all together again, it's like, oh, now I have to leave them again. So there's a little bit of pain, but love doesn't come without a little pain.
For sure, for sure. And you still keep in touch with Brad and Ray. And all of them.
God rest Doris and Peter. We miss them. But Ray does this wonderful thing. He does a Labor Day party every year at his house. So we'll always have any Raymond people that are available, and then it's also people from all the other shows he's done.
Have all your families
I know.
converted
So I'm
into
waiting.
one party.
He did Vinyl for a season or two on HBO. That was Martin Scorsese and Mick Jagger. So I'm waiting for them to show up at Ray's party.
Where are those families?
I know. Yes, exactly.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We've had Phil Rosenthal's been on the show a couple of times for his Netflix show.
Yes.
Somebody Feed Phil. And,
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt a graceful segue here, but we talked about the significance of travel and how important travel was to him, and he discovered that on Raymond how much travel meant to him because he saw what it did to Ray. And I'm
Yes.
wondering, as we start to shift into talking about your traveling and the work you've done, was that a similar experience for you? Was it through working on the shows that you learned about your passion for traveling, or what traveling could be?
Yes, for food and travel. I mean, Phil is very infectious with his love of food. And, no matter how poor he was, he always saved money for a big birthday meal for himself every year when he was struggling in New York, And then we all, when I was working here in New York, I got to travel a bit. I was doing fit corrections for shoe factories in Italy. So that was sort of my first trip to Italy. And that was a survival gig. A very nice survival gig, by the way. Yes, and I've always loved to travel. I think anybody that leaves their home, in the Midwest or wherever you're from, and you go to places like New York or LA, you're an adventurous person, and I'm always up for an adventure. Yes,
Well,
and these are World Vision has certainly taken me on some adventures.
And let's just start with that. How did you get involved with World Vision? How did you come to work with them?
Well, I had always loved supporting their sponsorship program. You can sponsor a child for $39 a month, and what that does is not just sponsor one child, but because it's a community-oriented program, 4 more children will get some benefit from that one sponsorship. And so I'd always been involved in that. But what I realized is nobody in my community in Hollywood had ever heard of World Vision. And I couldn't understand why, because it's the largest charitable foundation in the world. It's the largest provider of clean water. And what I loved about it, it has transparency and impact. So, you take your hard-earned dollar, and Americans are super generous, and we give our money, and you want to make sure that that money that you're giving is really having an impact. Well, 85% of every dollar that goes to World Vision goes to these programs. And the programs, it's not like, oh, we bought a bunch of soccer balls for some kids. They have these, long-running solutions They go in for 12 to 15 years, and they make sure that the programs are sustainable. So every 60 seconds, a family is getting clean water. Every 60 seconds, a child is getting food. Every 60 seconds, they're lifting people out of poverty. So I couldn't believe that no one had heard of them. So then I reached out to them and said, what can I do? How can I help you? Get that word out. And so that was in 2015 that I was in Zambia, and my son Dan came with me at the time and met his sponsored child, Aiden. And from there, we just started trying to get the word out about World Vision and about what a great organization it is to help lift the rest of the world out of poverty.
So that was your first trip that we got to see that video from,
Correct,
right?
yes.
Yeah, I thought that was. Okay, so that was your first time out. What were your expectations on that flight going out there? What did you think you were going to see? What did you think would happen when you
Well,
got there?
I had done 2 trips before, once to an orphanage in Mexico that was with a separate group, and then another separate group I had been in Sierra Leone prior to the Ebola breakout there. So I had, and also I've been in like crappy actors' dressing rooms in crappy theaters. So all those experiences prepared me. The whole spectrum. The whole spectrum prepares you. But it was really, I think, especially for my son, who didn't really realize the extent of poverty. So what we take for granted.
How old was your son at the time?
He was 15 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And so, you know, when you get out of the big cities in Africa and you go to the rural areas, there's no electricity there, and there's usually no fresh water. It's in whatever stream is running by. They are sort of like you just stepped into a 1950s National Geographic. It's like the thatched hutches, the fires are outside, there isn't a lot of hygiene and sanitation. So World Vision is the leader in bringing all those things out to these rural areas and staying, as I said, there for 12 to 15 years in these rural communities until these necessities are part of the community, and the community can sustain it. For instance, you saw us bringing up this big water pump. A lot of well-meaning people, you know, dig drills, and if you haven't taught people how to maintain them, they'll break down within a year to 5 years. But World Vision's wells stay, you know, they're still working 20 years on.
That's pretty incredible. We also got a chance to see, look like you were helping make some of the food and get in there. When you're immersed in their culture, in another culture that's foreign to you, because, you know, we live here and we
Yes.
do this, what do you absorb? Did you take any of that with you back to your kitchen when it came down to cooking? Any, like, things you picked up that you folded in?
Well, I think what I really saw was you only need a few simple ingredients to make a really delicious but also super nourishing meal for your family. And I think what is being taught there is like not to overcook everything, and that they have things there like tomatoes and eggs and onions, and there are things that they have on hand there that they can make really nutritious meals. And it's just a matter of like sort of teaching women these skills, stuff that we, as I said, we take for granted a lot. You know?
Yeah. So what do you remember from that first trip? Because you've gone back, I want to say every year that you've gone back with World
for the
Vision.
last, that was Zambia was my first trip with World Vision. And then I went to Jordan for the Syrian refugee camps. There's still that war going on in Syria, and Jordan has taken in millions of people. So World Vision has built kindergartens and safe children's spaces and soccer fields, because part of what happens in a refugee camp like in Jordan is there's nothing to do because they can't work there. So in order to keep everybody's mental health going and giving them things to do, and making sure the kids are still getting an education while they're waiting to go back, you know, which could be a while. So there was that, and then after the middle wrapped in March, I went to Uganda, and that was, I took Jen Ray, who played...
Jen went with you.
Yeah, Jen went with us, who played Nancy Donahue on The Middle, my next door neighbor. And, you know, they are getting all these refugees from South Sudan, and 65% of the refugees are children whose parents are missing or have been killed, like macheted, sometimes in front of them, and they just are running for miles to try to find a safe place. What's wonderful about the Ugandan government is they're giving every refugee family an acre of land to start a new life. So they're really not refugees, they're going to be repopulated in Uganda. So there's I have to tell you, there's so much we can all do. I know here there's, sometimes the conversation in our country can become kind of toxic, but really, no matter what's going on politically in our country, there are people that desperately need our help, and you can actually save a life, just by sponsoring a child, by this wonderful
that's
collection.
Perfect. Yeah, there we go. That's a perfect segue into, you hear about all these things, you go and witness firsthand all these things that are happening, and the human response is, what can I do? How can I help?
Right.
And World Vision and 31 Gifts, they do this every year. This is fantastic. This Giving Tuesday idea.
Yeah, so tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, and if everything you purchase from World Vision tomorrow, 31 Gifts is going to match up to $2 million in goods and services. So, food, diapers, anything a family needs. And this collection I designed with some wonderful artisans in India. And these are all women who are making these. They are working in a safe working environment. They're being paid a fair wage, and they are learning business skills. And you can get this whole collection for $260, and that you will not only get these wonderful gifts, but you will be saving people's lives by doing it. Or you can buy these individually. And I have to say, I think they look very nice. I'm wearing them. They're very nice. They're really well made, and it's just a really fun way to get your Christmas shopping done, to get it double the value of it, and to save people's lives.
Well, that's the beauty of it, especially when a lot of people probably are feeling regretful over what they had to do on Friday to get that television. This is the opposite. This is the opposite.
It makes up for beating up that woman at Victoria's Secret, definitely.
Exactly. Here, you're getting fantastic gifts, beautiful gifts,
yes,
gifts, and that money is also going someplace. And you can buy them all season, but tomorrow is the day, honestly, to do it, because tomorrow's Giving Tuesday.
And it'll be matched.
And it'll be matched.
Yes.
Talk to me about this. I love. Have you designed a collection before? What was your inspiration going into this collection?
Well, they send you lots of different, pieces and types of things to look at, and you end up kind of putting them together. And I love the way you matched your shoes. We're so coordinated. It looks fantastic. Yeah. Yes. So, and green is a big color coming up this season. I checked. So this goes with a lot of stuff. I love green. It's good for my skin tone. I don't know about everybody else, but there's a little self-involvement there. A little self-interest.
Hey, you got to wear the collection too.
That's right, I got to wear it.
But it's a beautiful color, the deep teal. I love it.
Thank you.
What about the name of the collection? There's a beautiful
story. So it's
story.
the Grace Collection, because my sponsor child in Zambia is Gracious, and it reminds me of her. And, it was just fun opening those Legos with her, and it's such a big deal. The kids don't have anything. There's not a toy, there's nothing there, but if we can at least provide education, make sure especially the girls are safe. World Vision even attends to details that we don't really think about. When a young woman gets her period, she often misses a week or two of school because she has no place at the school to take care of herself hygienically. And so World Vision is part of putting girls' bathrooms in the schools so that they don't have to miss anything when they have their time of the month. It's little things like that we just take for granted that is so important over there. And I'm just so proud to be a part of World Vision and to know that they are. We can't be there, obviously, but these people are trained to do it, and they know what they're doing, and they're very trustworthy. So I'm very proud to be a part of it.
No, it really is an incredible organization. We've been working with World Vision for a little while and doing what we can to spread the word. If you go to worldvision.org, you can find all the information for Giving Tuesday, for all this stuff as well. And for our New York viewers and our New York friends right here, tomorrow there's the World Vision New York pop-up, give back pop-up shop
in Bryant Park.
Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
Oh, you're doing it again. That's
yes. We have animals there. We have a visual tour that you can put on your VR glasses and take the walk that children take to go find water when they don't have clean water. It's really a spectacular thing to watch. And you get to learn all about World Vision, how you get to lift a 40-pound bucket to see what it's like to have to carry that for miles. But it says there's fun, there's shops there too, you can buy everything. So come to Bryant Park tomorrow,
You see there are animals there, right? There's
animals too. That's my favorite part.
As well. Yeah. It's a great pop-up shop where you can give back, you can learn a little bit.
You can learn bring your kids, they love it. It's so much fun for them to see how kids in other parts of the world live and what they go through. And I think especially at this Christmas season when we want to try to balance the commercial aspect of Christmas with something with the real meaning of Christmas, I think it's a great thing to take your family to.
I think, and now more than ever, if there's one thing everybody could use, it's just like a little perspective.
Yeah.
So this does help. It's a great thing, and you're doing a lot of great work. I'm so excited.
Thank
you.
you.
Came back. We're gonna throw it in just 1 second to the audience. We're gonna throw it over and take some questions because we got some out there. But I wanted to ask real quick. I saw on Twitter over the weekend you were throwing your hat in the ring, lending support for Sue Heck. As a middle fan, what is our best course of action right now?
I think really reach out to ABC Network or ABC Studios and just say you just let them know we have been looking forward to seeing the Heck saga continue, and we would be faithful viewers. You know, we had such millions of faithful viewers that I was really surprised, and I saw the pilot. It's so good. The pilot for her spinoff was so good. So yes, reach out to ABC and let them know you care.
I thought that was amazing that you were doing what you were doing your part to help the fans.
Well, also,
you were retweeting and putting it out there.
I was going to do a couple episodes. I got to take back those shoes I just bought.
Right, of course, that as well.
You know, selfishly, you know, I wanted an opportunity to see Neil and Eden and Atticus and Charlie again, you know, because it's hard. I actually did have breakfast with Neil and Eden a few weeks ago, but it's hard to get everybody together. So it's nice to, you know, have an opportunity to get together.
To do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. All right, well, I don't want to take up any more of the audience time. We've got 3 questions. The first one's going to come right from here. Come on down.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to know what was a distinct uplifting moment when you were working with World Vision?
I think one of the most wonderful things I saw was a medical center that was built by an American church here. And the women had prior to that been giving birth in some really, really dirty, rundown places. And, you know, I was at, you know, St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica in the Arnold Schwarzenegger corner suite giving birth to my kids, you know. So when I saw that where these women had been giving birth and how this wonderful church built an entirely new center for the ladies, I really felt like was proud of how generous we Americans are, and just saw how much more work there is to do, but that it can be done, and we're doing it.
That's a great question. Thank you. We got 2 more. Our next question's coming to us from, come on down right here.
Hi. Thanks for being here and for speaking about your work with World Vision. I was just wondering, for those of us or those people who can't necessarily afford to monetarily donate or sponsor or purchase a gift set, how can they support World Vision?
Oh, that's a really good question. I understand that even $39 a month for a sponsored child can be an awful big commitment for people. So if you're a person of faith, I would say pray for, you know, you can even pick out a country. And I think maybe there's things that you can do, like World Vision does 5Ks and running things. There's often groups, and if you go to the website, you can find out that you can run a marathon, not even marathon, just a 5K, and raise money for World Vision that way, or just raise awareness of World Vision. So I think if you go to the website, you'll see that there are different opportunities that wouldn't necessarily cost you financially.
Yeah, worldvision.org is
worldvision.org. Thank you.
The gift guide and all the different ways that you can help. That was a great question. Thank you so much. Signal, I'm getting 1 more, and it is going to be, come on down right here.
Hi.
Hi.
So I have an online question, actually.
Okay.
And the question is, what are the most, what are the differences between being a mom in real life versus being a mom on TV?
When you're a mom on TV, people do your hair and makeup. They bring you water when you're thirsty. They serve you lunch. They make sure you're okay. And when you go home, you have to do that for everybody else, and nobody does it for you. So that's the biggest difference.
That was a great question. Thank you so much. sadly, we're running out of time.
Okay.
I've got to wrap things up. But I want to thank you again so much for being here.
Thank
and I
you
want to
guys for
remind
having me.
everybody, first of all, your cookbook is available now.
It's
wherever
available.
cookbooks are
Good
sold.
Christmas present, and these are good Christmas
These are
presents.
fantastic
I would
Christmas
suggest
presents.
getting everything.
Just buy-
Cookbook, the bracelet, the scarf,
Can't
the
go
necklace.
wrong.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Yeah.
So take a look for the cookbook. It's out there, Food for Family and Friends. That's out now. And then worldvision.org. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. You can get these amazing gifts all season long, but tomorrow is the day to get them, my friends, because that's when it'll do the most good. So tomorrow, go to worldvision.org. Or if you're in New York, head down to, was it Bryant Park?
Yes, Bryant Park.
Bryant Park to check out the pop-up shop. It's going to be a ton of fun. Everybody, please put your hands together and join me one more time in thanking the great
Thank you.
Patricia
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.